Perfect.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome back to the Walk the Dogcast with Matt Mullins, episode 9, I think. Yeah, 8 fingers and a thumb.
No, that would be nine. I think I'm knocking my 10th down, but I don't have the skills to fully lay that thing down. So,
Yeah,
how are you, brother? Good to see you, man.
we're all right.
Dude, I mean, I don't know what you were planning on talking here about, but I know we got to get into this proto, bro.
Well, we can go right there. I was gonna say, how am I doing? I'm just recalibrating is what I'll say. Um,
Okay.
I just I feel like I'm always currently working. So we're trying to recalibrate. Um, and I think that has to do with the holidays, with the kids being off, then the snow days, then them being sick last week. So it has been being dad, trying to work, and then it just turns into a 24-hour cycle because you never get that full time to actually focus on what I'm trying to do. So we're trying to lock it back in.
150 boxes is what it looked like. FOV maxes coming in, taking up the whole
Well,
driveway, bro.
let me think about this. I had, I think, 50 or 75 boxes of FOV Max because I either got 100 or 150, I forget. And then I had another order of another, I think, 25 boxes of the regular FOVs. So I've gotten some of those over to the storage bin. Haven't got those relisted on the website yet, but I would like to have some room in the garage again.
You got time. You got time. Miss G2 probably super upset, right? Probably not happy at all. Those big
No,
old because
she's gotten used to it a little bit. She wasn't too happy with the shipment of the um display cases. That was a boatload. Um
those came two per box, right?
those are two per box, but still 100 boxes of large boxes. So once I got the storage unit, that helped a little bit. Um, January here was crazy though. I couldn't go to the storage unit because it was just, well, I could. I was just a little baby. It's too cold.
Right. Well, you don't want to possibly have a wreck too. That'd be
Oh, we're pretty good here in Ohio with the driving. It was just cold, and I can only fit like 5 or 6 of those boxes in my van.
oh yeah.
So it sucks. I need a
Well that
decent truck.
that's crazy. I saw all those boxes. I said, dang, gum, dude can't even stop.
Growing pains. It's all right. Just
That's
figuring
good
it out.
though. That's
Oh,
good. And
yeah.
it's good to hear that the FOV is back, the regular FOV, because I know people are out there wanting them. I know people right now wanting them.
Yeah, it's a good size. I didn't know what the demand would be like, and I think there will always be a demand for it. Um, there's less for the 6 and the 12 than I thought there would be. So I think I don't know. There's probably a spot there where 20 might be the ideal amount that people put over their shoulder. But for right now, 28 is going to be it.
I don't know if you have seen the videos. Uh, his name is, I've seen him on TikTok. His name is Chef Toy Throws or something along those lines. He's actually put lights in his FOV
Oh,
and
I
he's
did
got,
see that somewhere. It's pretty sweet.
it's really nice looking and it's a really good thing to have in the background, I think, of your videos.
Hmm.
Seems like it looks nice.
Yeah, the LEDs around that inside case was a great idea.
That's, I thought it brought a sweet touch. And then, I mean, the anodizing issue sucks, right? But then you just blow everybody away this morning.
Well, I guess we can dive into that. So we're filming this Loadout Tuesday, a couple days before this releases. So today was our first day without a real loadout drop in, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months.
Long time.
And we were on time, but the anodizer's acid tank went bad, I believe. So he got a new tank, and with the new tank, he was able to upgrade to new acid, which is more like industrial strength instead of like homebrew stuff. Um, and then in that process, he said that the new acid is actually creating a better layer, but that layer is probably thicker. So,
Right.
that could cause issues on the yo-yo side if the layer is actually too thick that bearings don't fit on the bearing seats. So that's where we were at. We were pretty close to being able to get one colorway rushed overnighted to me for today, but we didn't want to do that until we had tested some to see what's going to happen. Because I didn't want to take that risk on the overnighted order and then it's just bad parts. So I don't have loadouts and I also just ruined a batch of yo-yos. So we're waiting to
Gotcha.
try and get that tested and then figured out. So that led into today. I only had three loadouts from prior drops and actually one unreleased, um, which hopefully they'll post it up and you guys will get to see it. But and also that colorway was a very small colorway, so it couldn't be its own drop today. So that would have made too much sense. But no, I threw it in with the Fiesta, and then there was two prior colorways, or maybe I'm not exactly sure. They're just in loadout boxes I've held back. So I had three there. We dropped the slate, 8 pass QC on the slate. That's a new prototype nobody had known about until like 2 hours before the drop. If you know or don't know, there's 4 VIP slots on Patreon. I don't really plan to increase it, and this is kind of the instance why. Um, because it's very rare right now that they all grab something early, but when it does happen, then my quantity, like today, there was only 4 slates available for the site. So we had the 3 Fiestas, the 4 slate prototypes, um, and that was today's loadout Tuesday. And then the last piece of that puzzle is, of course, it was somebody's first time trying a G2 drop. So they logged in, saw only 3 Fiestas, thought that was crazy. We tried to check out, weren't quick enough, and then didn't get to see that there was also a second yo-yo dropped at the same time. So by the time
Miss both.
refresh, they were all gone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
a little bit of a whirlwind today.
that's
But
fair.
they said they'll be back Friday because Fridays should be a standard release, 20-ish, 25-ish yo-yos.
Well,
What
a
did you
bunch of
ask
people
me?
out. Well, I don't really remember,
Okay.
but a lot of people are ascending, right?
Yes.
A lot of people are ascending. I wonder, a lot of people are what? Well, first of all, let me go back to the proto. That looks grunt size to me. Am I even close in that?
No.
Not even close. See, that's why we shouldn't even talk about what I think about it, what a yo-yo is.
I,
Boy,
well, there's no way for you to know what size it is without something in the photo, right?
well, what
I
I
need
like to
specs.
do is I take your photos and I think, how would it fit in my hand?
Hmm. I think you got big hands though.
Like Dennis Rodman hands. We gotta count the rotations of the basketball so you can catch the rebound.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Okay. All right.
I know Dennis Rodman hair.
Yeah, he had some stylish hair, brother. He really did.
Yeah, and some Vegas nights apparently.
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
Did you watch The Last Dance?
Oh yes, I watched a good part of it. Not all of it.
And I actually it might not have been on that. Maybe there was a little Dennis Rodman something somewhere.
He's a bro, he was a rebounding machine. Rebounding machine, bro.
Yeah, I saw one of his stat lines. It was like 32 minutes, 0 points, and something ridiculous like 28 rebounds.
Yeah. So what I was talking about, Joe Dumars, there's an interview with Dumars that said, we were getting way off topic here. He said that Dennis Rodman would count the rotations of every player. So Jonah shoots the ball, he would know how many rotations the ball does before it hits the rim. So he could eye up where he needed to be on the rebound.
Why? Because that's going to bounce further with more rotation, or
I'm not the worm.
I mean, you see shooters, they rotate the ball in their hand to be aligned with the groove before they shoot, but with the seams. All right. Well, yeah, that was the acid issue with the loadout Tuesdays, and that's going to continue going forward.
Yeah, that sucks,
I
dog.
should have a better idea this week on if the ano is going to work or if we have to do more experiments. Um, which hopefully it gets sorted out that it can work and we don't have to do more experiments, but the more experiments should just take some time. But I am confident right now that we can get it figured out. But once I see the first testers, then I'll know for sure.
Well, I'm excited about your confidence and I believe in you.
And then
I believe in the Ano guy too. Let's give it up to the Ano guy.
and then the slate is I don't want to give it away. I didn't give the specs. I'd rather just let people
Yeah,
check
I
it
know you did, and that's why I was just wondering. I'm sorry.
out. It's pretty normal full size yo-yo though.
A normal full size organic.
Yeah, gotta have one in the lineup, right?
I love it.
The only thing or like the only standard organic in the G2 lineup right now is the Afterlife, and it's big.
Yeah.
Um, so something it's smaller than the Life. We'll leave it at that. And if you saw the pictures, it has an experimental blast on it where I used a bigger media to see what it feels like. I like the feeling. I think I'm going to use it for some specific colors. Um, I think it's going to be okay on this yo-yo just for the Protos, the way that it's the response area is. It doesn't like it's a rougher finish, so it could eat some string, but this response area is not set up in a way that it has a hard point of the yo-yo constantly rubbing the string. Um, but it's kind of there's been rough finishes in the past. This one feels like a smooth rough, just because it's such a like twice the size of the media. You can tell the blasting is very different than the other ones.
Gotcha. Excited to feel it. I love, exotic feels, my friends.
All right, now we're
Exotic
all the
feels.
way back to Ascending. What do you want to know
Oh,
about the Ascension?
well, a lot of people are really liking it out there. Really hearing good things so far. Obviously the gold flew right off the shelves. Are you're out of silvers now at this point, right? You only had one left on Monday morning yo-yo, right?
Yeah, silvers are all accounted for, which would be the raw. Yeah, what did I do? Like 30-ish gold, 50-ish raw, something like that. So I did a little more raw than gold just because I thought the standard raw would be more popular in the titanium for more people, but um, a lot of people gravitated right towards that gold.
Pack storm next.
If I could on titanium, that'd be groundbreaking.
Hey, sweet. Sweet. Do you want to talk about the Valhalla X or and the titanium covey? I don't know.
Yeah, we can. What do you want to talk about?
Well, what do you think about it? I mean, are you excited about the next line of the legacy with the covey?
Um, Hang on.
Everyone, please patiently wait. Dang.
So
What's up, Jake? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Um,
Wow, that's massive.
so I guess that'd be the next iteration of the Covey.
Wow, dude. When
This is
is
this is a prototype. Um,
what do you well, that's beautiful.
it's a nice purple. So
How do
Matt didn't know anything about this. He was just we're going to talk about the Discord thing in a second here, but when you said the next iteration of the Covey, I figured I should show this. This is a prototype, and I do expect it to be changed, even though I like the way it plays. I don't love this rim interaction here. I
okay.
was just trying something different there. Um, but we'll talk more about it whenever I release it, I suppose.
Wow, that's beautiful. That just made a lot of people's day, I think.
But this is just a little bit wider, very close to the specs though. Um, Covey was made, it was like a powerful mono. So it has big rims, it's thinner, so there's like you have more just a lot of rim weight on that thing. Um, what Matt's talking about on Discord, the Titanium Covenant and Valhalla X, there was a petition to have one or both of those made. And I didn't necessarily think that both of them were going to hit 40 um, signatures or whatever you want to call it for the petition. So I said 40 people, I'll make it happen. If it doesn't hit to 40, just leave me alone. Stop asking.
Amen.
It both made it to 40. I'm not going to do them both at the same time. The tie covey I mentioned, I want to keep close to the original specs. It'll probably have to be a little bit lighter because I'm going to, use the titanium and be thin all the way throughout to the rims, kind of double down on the high rim weight ratio, and then probably go a little bit lighter. Otherwise, it's going to feel pretty heavy if I put too much weight out there. Um, but I th was thinking that one would be a prototype thing where a few people got a proto, and then the other option would be what was a pre-order run, but both had a lot of interest, so I'm not exactly sure how to do it yet. Valhalla X. Well, do you have any question on the tie cubby first?
No, I'm very excited about the TI Covey though.
Okay. People might ask what type of titanium. It just depends on what the plans are for it. If I decide I want to do any type of coloring, um, grade 2 takes electroplating better. So you keep that in mind. And outside of that, um, for the most part, grade 5 is used just as a way to market it. It's not really going to be any different in terms of a yo-yo. So it depends. Grade five's fine if you want to keep it raw, and then grade two is usually more ideal for coloring.
Perfect.
Valhalla X.
Yeah.
This doesn't have as straight of a street or whatever, like a runway here. So it was, I don't even know. Valhalla X is just a different version of the Valhalla.
Yeah.
Um, and since I made the Valhalla with Damien, I'll have to figure out a way. I'm not just going to make another Valhalla and not um, include Damien somehow in it. And I could still design it, but I still want to include him or get permission to use the Valhalla name. Whether he gets royalties or colorways or yo-yos or whatever, I don't know. Um, so if it turns into the Valley X or something, that could happen.
Yeah.
And if that happened, I'd probably want to change it a little bit more. But the regular Valhalla, to make it a Valhalla X, I kind of decided we go a little bit smaller in diameter, a little wider, and outer rims like this instead of the inner rims.
Yes.
I guess the X idea came from the Arbiter X, which we took the inner rims and put it on the outside, and it changes the play a lot. Um, the way it moves, where that weight is, basically, it makes your larger yo-yo feel like a larger yo-yo. Um, And if you have a larger yo-yo and you use inner ring bimetals, it can make your yo-yo feel a little smaller on the string because it moves that weighting in, which I
I'm
don't
very
think
excited.
people actually probably think about that.
Yeah. Well, no one has to. They're not out there designing them. It's not something that they need to think about.
But it just, you don't think about it that way. You just kind of think of it as the weight being out to the rim more. Um, and it kind of influences the way the yo-yo plays and it makes it feel like a smaller yo-yo. Um, this is the way I kind of describe it.
I'm jacked for both. I think Covey's absolute powerhouse. It does exactly what you designed it to be. So I'm excited for the titanium. Also excited for that SS version. I love the outer rim. I think the outer rim makes it a complete. I also am excited for the outer rim being on the Valhalla because I think as much as it does change, it's going to make the Valhalla even better. I hope Damien's ready to roll on that.
So I think the most important or the most exciting thing about the Valhalla X to me is making a little smaller diameter and a little wider. That's going to fit my play and feeling a little bit better. Yes. Hey, I'm a selfish man when it comes to making yo-yos. I like to
Fair.
make the ones I like.
That's fair. Hey, I bet Brandon Fox likes it too. We'll see. I bet everybody does.
So
You
it'll play
seem to
a good bit different being smaller diameter and wider.
you seem to like what it always seems to be a great yo-yo. So I,
I think it's easy to make a good or a playable yo-yo these days. I don't think oftentimes people think about what they want the yo-yo to play like outside of just looking at specs and shape. And you can get lost in the specs and shape, how it looks. There's a lot to do with the weighting. And think when you design a yo-yo, knowing how you want it to play. You might not necessarily hit that spot, um, and then you'll either prototype again or you'll be like, oh, actually, I like the way this plays. It didn't hit what I was planning on, but I'm still happy with it. But just thinking about a way you want a yo-yo to feel on the string when you design it helps a lot.
I usually go into all of my yo-yos blindly. Like I don't know their specs and I just usually fill it out with play. So I'm not so much. You taught me a long time ago that specs doesn't mean anything. You can make a yo-yo play how you want it to.
Yeah, just weight distribution. You're going to make a light yo-yo play heavy. You can make a heavy yo-yo play lighter. And I don't know, it's just don't judge a book by its cover type of deal, but it's just been that's just the standard. Like that's the cookie cut way you post your specs, um, which I can understand. Like anything you're buying, you want to know the specs of, but it shouldn't be something that drives your purchase as much. But then also you can't really trust a lot of descriptions out there for how yo-yo plays. This is the whatever you want it to be. It's going to do all your tricks plus some. Put that into ChatGPT and tell it to spice it up in this person's writing style. There you go. You got another yo-yo description to sell. And then
Dang.
use somebody else's writing style for their next yo-yo, even though it's the same basic description. Um,
Wowzer. Wowzer, brother. How
size,
did, I'm
like
sorry.
the weight, I throw completely out. Like you don't
Yeah.
need to know the weight. I understand you have a bum shoulder. You don't want an 80-gram yo-yo. If I'm going to sell you an 80-gram yo-yo, I'm going to let you know it's 80 grams.
Yeah.
Most of them are all in that 60 to 67 range. Um, and it's going to play differently based on the weighting. Size, I understand if you're looking for a smaller yo-yo, but for the most part, if you go into a yo-yo not expecting it to play like something else that has similar specs, it's more
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Well, just don't judge the yo-yo before you even throw it. Let the yo-yo fight for itself. Let it love your fingers and the string, and it'll tell you what it is.
That's one of the reasons that I don't do reviews really. Um, One, most of the time. So if I send somebody a product for a review and they keep the product, they're going to give it a good review because they want to keep the yo-yo and they want more yo-yos coming to have another review. So that's across the board. Nobody's giving you a review that's fair and honest. Second thing, when you get a review, then you have this thought of how a yo-yo is going to play, and this is what I don't like even more. Um, and you already have judged this yo-yo based on what somebody else said before you've even played it. So I try not to do that. Even when I try it, when I like the Ascension, I didn't say anything about it before it's getting to people's hands, right?
Yeah.
Very minimal. Because I want them to just try it without any preconceived notion about the yo-yo. And that's just the way I do things, I guess.
Well, what's funny is Rich is going, I mean, I'll just tell you a little G2, behind the scenes action here. Rich going around telling people it's grunt size. I mean, he's going around telling people things. It's like, but no, it's because he looks at the specs and he's comparing it to other yo-yos is what he's doing. So when he did that, I was like, I don't know anything about that yo-yo. Don't tell me nothing.
The Ascension?
Yeah, well, I don't know what he was talking about, bro.
Oh, okay.
Rich starts to talk, and I just go Banshee, Banshee, and he'll start talking for 20 minutes.
And it's just I
I
just try to
love
get
him.
out of that mindset. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that preconceived notion. So I like the way that you do that too.
I don't want to go. I love. I remember the first time I got the grunt in. I didn't have any. Like I think of all the first encounters I have with yo-yos, Nessie 24 or something like, which we haven't really talked about, but like I know we got time here, but yeah, just I don't ever like to do that because I like to just feel it, let it tell me what it is.
Yeah, and I think the grunt was a sleeper because people saw smaller yo-yo and there's a lot of undersized yo-yos do play like bricks. Um, so this is a little bit bigger, like 53. But once you get to that 52 and smaller, they're usually heavy, but the grunt is not, and that surprised a lot of people.
Grunt, Grunt is a banger, an absolute banger. But you said more are coming though, right? You did hint that.
Well, that was before the anno tank exploded.
JK, everyone. Everyone
So
stay on standby.
yeah, I have colorways picked out, and they were next in the tank, but the tank broke. So
Bro, Nessie 24 is fire. Nessie 22 is absolute fire.
Nessie 22, what?
Nessie 24. Is that, did I say 22?
The second time.
Dang, my bad, bro.
Um,
It's so good though.
did you play
Hopefully more.
original Nessie?
I had an original Nessie. I loved it, by the way. Now John Conley owns it. But but yeah, fabulous yo-yo. This one seems bigger. Am I crazy?
It's a little wider.
A little wider.
It might
Okay.
be bigger diameter too, but not a lot.
I absolutely love it, brother. Thank you. And that knife, dude. You know I'm gonna walk around.
Oh,
I'm
the mail day
excited.
opener?
Yeah, dude. That is sick. I've been seeing your content on it. I love it. It's beautiful.
Um, but Nessie 24, I think is probably like for a yo-yo that's being remade after whatever it was, 12 years. I think it's probably like the best one I've done with like updating it but keeping it true to a yo-yo that's a 2012 yo-yo.
Yeah.
Um, because if I would have jumped it all the way, let's just say to this today's like normal was like 48 millimeters wide is what is is getting out there, it would not have been anything like the Nessie. So just widen it up a little bit, um, change the response a little bit, and that's pretty close to it. Slight weight adjustments, but true to its roots, I guess. But
It's
yeah, that's
plays
one that I'm
gorgeous.
really happy with. I get worried about doing those old legacy yo-yos, but
Yeah.
one turned out great. So
Well, Cliff wants a plastic Triton, my friend. How you gonna handle that?
I'm not.
I'm just come on, plastic Triton in the chat. No, I'm just joking.
So the idea of getting a mold
Oh, I know, brother.
isn't that bad. Um,
Oh,
but the idea of me assembling and testing them is just a nightmare.
yes,
And then also the idea of letting the shop that I get the mold through, assemble them and test them is also a nightmare. Because I'm not going to trust them.
bro. I've heard molds are a nightmare, an absolute nightmare.
And how much of that is like, do you want to reveal your sources?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm just trying to
No,
see like how much of that is recent, and then how much is that of that is to like
that would be fair. What you're thinking would be
justify
fair.
pricing.
Oh, well, never mind. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Yes, probably
Um,
right. But I've heard that it can be a very difficult process. And then, of course, we know what happened with the original freehand one mold. It broke. No more original. No more freehand ones.
well, you know it. I mean, I understand that, but why didn't they just make another mold?
From what I understand, is it was a very expensive process to make a mold at that time.
So then they just made a freehand two mold.
They went in. Well, freehand two is just the dragonfly.
I don't. I'm not dunking.
Yeah, no, they just went. They just redid it. They did the freehand zero. I'm sorry.
So the freehand one, the freehand zero are pretty much the same.
If you look at them side by side, there's a redesign. It's not an exact replica. I mean, dude, the OG freehand one I would say is a superior model, just to be honest with you. But they are prone to cracking due to that mold being whatever it was. And to your point, it was probably due to it was probably a cheaply made mold. Think
Well,
about
probably
what
went for years too. How many can you? How you know what I mean? You have to.
exactly, exactly. So I was just joking about the Triton. Of course, we don't want no plastic Triton, dog.
I mean, if I could get, I've never really interacted with Pang. Um, he's got the mold system down. Then you could get a machine
Yeah.
trim that way. But
And bro makes good yo-yos too.
I yeah, I'd probably want to go plastic albatross.
Okay, that was
Personally.
plastic goose, bro. Plastic goose.
I just was thinking about the groove profile in plastic, and it's not. I don't think it's going to feel great.
So how do you do everything, brother? You got 70 things at one time. You got kids, you got a wife. You're one man, Jacob Gross.
I don't. Hey, many will argue I don't do it very well, myself included. I do
Whatever,
very
brother.
average across the board, right?
Whatever, brother. I appreciate your work, man.
That all you got for me?
Hey, Doc. I mean, hey, you got anything for me, homie? Sorry, I'm chilling and talking your head off too much.
No. What else is in the pipeline? Your Ascension's sitting here. That'll be like the Nessie 24. It'll probably take me about a month and a half to get it to you.
Yeah, bro. I'm still spending time with my Nessie 24. I'm spending time with Goose 1.5. I've been spending time with a lot of great G2s that are just killing.
How about that average throwers club?
Dude, I'm having a blast with that. I'm at least, which I'm trying to push myself. So I told myself that I wanted to learn 3 tricks a week now. So I know that one's going to be average throwers club, but I'm having a really good time. I kind of feel like I've let you down, just to be honest, because I tried to make myself where I could judge people, and I have not had time to do that, and I apologize. So I will make up for that. I promise you, I will make up for that.
And what he's saying is adding people to the scoreboard.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
When you do a trick, somebody has to watch it, confirm you did the trick, add you to the scoreboard, and add your credit. Um, so basically, we're encouraging you to learn new tricks to get Average Throwers Club merch. Um,
The
and
coin mainly.
it's been good. Um, like the trick a week thing has kind of been around for a long time, and I think that I don't know if it's the credits or the leaderboard. Um, Maybe it's the combination of those two that seems to be making it like pretty popular. Or maybe Alex, who is picking the tricks for us, is just picking proper like skill level tricks.
Yeah, and that is hard. You know, people are everywhere when in their journey with the skill toys. So it's good that he is doing that. He's pushing people. We're seeing people that in week one, you know, it probably would have been questionable if they would have been able to do some of the tricks that they're doing now. So the growth is happening quick. Hopefully it happens to all of us, you know?
Yeah, and I think when we pick some of the easier tricks, it works well when we're saying, "Hey, go ahead and throw it in your own combo."
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're still getting the credit and you're also improving yourself, your trick set in some way if you're making your own combo off of that week's trick.
Creativity, all the good stuff.
I got to do this week still.
Oh, I really like this week's. I don't remember. Has he taught us that one before? I don't think he has.
No, excuse me, Mike learned this one just for the tutorial. This
Okay.
was on a yo-yo rewind tutorial,
Sweet.
and I mean, it was not something that I would have thought to do with a yo-yo.
Yeah. Well, that dude over there is quite special. That
Yep,
dude at Rewind, he's won. How many times he won worlds? Like 30 times straight.
I have no idea.
Dude has won a ton. Bro's won a ton. Are we ranking chicken or anything this week or what we done?
I didn't have anything for you.
Oh, okay.
That
We
was
don't have to.
top five blind
Okay.
for um I'm gonna pause this recording. No, I'm not, because I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have to edit the videos together and save it. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, blind ranking five organic yo-yos.
Okay. Do you want me to go first? Or
No,
wait, how
I've
we?
got the
Oh,
five.
okay.
All right, albatross,
3.
Albatross 3. Peak.
5,
5. Freehand 0.
2,
Life.
1,
Life 1. Last but not least, 54. And that's going to 4 for you.
4.
So are you happy with your ranking?
No, I should have put Albatross number 2.
All right, you're a dunking
0.
boy.
No, I should have put Albatross number 2. Free and 0 probably number 4. Peak could have went 3. What was number 5? The 54. Is that one drop? The 54?
No, peak you put 5. Yeah, one drop 54.
I didn't like that yo-yo, but that's a different conversation.
What were you like? So you said you should have had Albatross 1.
No, I should have had Albatross
What
2.
what was should have been 1?
One should still be the Life. I
Okay.
think the Life is a fantastic. Wait, I
That's your
mean,
favorite organic yo-yo?
I would say so.
Okay. I didn't know if you're like you have something you were hoping I was gonna say.
No, you said it when you said Life.
Okay.
Yeah, you said it. When you said Life, I said, well, there's my clear winner. Perfect. Thank you, buddy.
hmm
I'll give you one now.
You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
Fine. Well, why didn't we just do
I'll,
that? You made me make one up on the spot.
well, I just made one up on the spot too, bro.
All right.
All right. Top 5 fast food restaurants.
Blind ranking 5.
Yeah. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
5.
Okay. Subway.
3.
Damn, bro. Jared messed you up that bad, huh?
Hey, the pricing doesn't reflect the quality anymore. So if they
Bro,
had a $5 foot long, that'd be number 1.
okay. Okay. Fair. McDonald's.
Oh, man. It feeds my kids a lot, but I don't like it.
Okay.
4.
Taco Bell.
1.
Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that bad.
I
Okay.
know
What's
it's
your
1 or
first?
2, but I like Taco Bell a lot.
All right. Now I got to think. Wendy's.
Wendy's 2. I'm fine with that. Wendy's. I'm fine with Taco Bell, Wendy's, Subway, McDonald's, KFC. I like my order.
Perfect.
I nailed it.
Did you watch my bangers before you put it on Monday show?
I didn't watch your bangers yet.
Any update on the 7075 Goose?
No.
All right, cool. Goose on 3.
Do you like the actual update? I assume I'll have the Raws in March.
Yeah. Cool.
Um, so these are machined overseas. Chinese, it always says like Chinese New Year or something. They shut down for like 2 weeks. So,
Oh yeah.
um, makes
Well,
it a
happy New Year.
little bit. I might be mixing it up. I don't even know my own culture, but
Praise God.
those it usually adds on half a month. But everything else should be okay. The customs anodizer doesn't do the storms, so that other anodizer is still fine. And yeah, the goose will be loose. Well, actually, yeah, that's so real quick, all the way back to the Titanium Covenant and Valhalla X. I don't really want to have another pre-order right now. Um, because I have the Goose and the Workhorse.
Mm-hmm.
Workhorse is supposed to be here Rawls end of February. Um, and then those are kind of taking priority for Modern Responsive March. I'd like to at least get them at some point in March to everybody. And then the Goose hopefully can be fulfilled quickly after that. Um, and then a rush order on a April 1st yo-yo. So
Oh yeah. That sounds
like I have
tricky.
a long queue of yo-yos. I have something I was like for Rawls put in July, and I keep moving them back because then I'll think of something else. I'll be like, hey, actually, just move this up the chain. Uh,
Dang.
so like I did that with the Mongoose 1.5 for the one set, just like half the run, not even half the run, small batch of the 1.5. Um, hey, move these up the chain. Everything else gets moved back. Um, I just need a CNC machine in the garage.
Oh boy, your electricity bill be wild, brother. For one, that thing be running all the time.
I do the CNC machine and then the anodizing and just have a big old pole barn in the backyard. And then I could crank out 3 yo-yos a week or something because I'd be doing all the parts.
Did you hear about my TI Triton?
Huh.
I got a Triton on, or it's on its way to Conley right now to get anodized.
Is he going to anodize it?
He's going to anodize it for me.
Has he
It's
done titanium?
already been sparked.
Has he done titanium?
He has. He's done like everyday carry knives,
Is he going to
scales.
strip it to clean it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Knife scales are a lot easier to clean because you don't have to worry about the tolerances. That's the only issue I would be worried about the yo-yo because when you etch it, basically you're putting it in acid and it's taking everything, all dirt, grime, oil off the yo-yo. Well, you clean it first, then etch it. But that can eat away the bearing post too.
Hmm.
So a knife scale, you don't have to worry about that. It can be a little bit off, and the screw is going to cover it up and fit still. But the
Right.
bearing post, you could have some issues.
Got you. We'll see what happens.
All right.
All right. Hey, thank you, brother. I love you as always.
Thank you.
One, two, three. Geese on three.
1, 2, 3.
Geese.
Peace.
Love you, brother.
See you, Matt.
Have a good day, buddy.
You too.